Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of the Space Year Tech podcast. I'm sure this season you have heard a lot from us, unlike the other seasons, but yeah, we are hoping that we are bonding nicely with you guys. So today I have my co host here, Fred. Fred, you can say hi.
Yeah, hi guys. Hi guys.
Yeah, and our guest is one Mr. Nile Okomo, who's also part of the Space Year Tech team. And today we're having a very chill, chill afternoon. It's a Friday, so yeah, we're not gonna uh, do too much with the startups and fundings and yeah. So we will be talking about something that has been a never-ending Twitter discussion. Is a computer degree in software engineering, computer science, is it necessary? Is it? And yeah, I will pick a side to this war. I always do because we always have to pick sides. But that is what we are here to discuss today. Is it worth it? Is if you go to a boot camp, what impact does that have? If you do it for 4 years and you spend money on it, is it also just as worth it? And that is what this discussion is going to be about. And once the episode is out, we would like to continue the never ending discussion. And you tell us what your experience has been doing a boot camp or having a 4 year degree course. So, yeah, Fred, you can say hi.
Yeah,
And
thank you guys so much. So we have Nile Okomo in the house, and Nile, you can just start by introducing yourself, and then you and I, we are on the side of boot camps and particularly ALX. So for people like Mal, unaweza kaa kando kidogo, and then we say our points, kwanza point, and then we'll give you a chance. But first of all, Nile, you can just introduce yourself to the audience, which may or may not know you so much, but yeah, you can go.
Hello guys, my name is Nilo Como. I am a software developer. Uh, I like backend systems and I like creating stuff from code. And besides that, in as much as I have been inactive lately, I'm also part of the Special Tech team, trying to preach the gospel of tech to as many people as we can. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nile. By the way, just as a side note, I'm just going to ask you something that has been disturbing me this whole week. In spirit two of ALX, Mal, you can sit at the corner there for a while. I just think about this.
you want to
So
discuss homework on my podcast?
yeah, there's web infrastructure. I don't know whether you go to that part, but how do you draw that diagram? Because it's supposed to have a server, it's supposed to have nodes, it's supposed to have basically that assignment, that ALX assignment, because we are talking about ALX. It kind of gave me problems. How did you go about it, by the way, if you can remember what you did?
Okay, so the whole essence of the web infrastructure design assignment is actually to help you understand the basics of system design.
Yeah.
As a software engineer, uh, Alex specifically will teach you full stack development. And so you will be required to learn how things work beyond the scope of code. How can you let's say interact with a database server in case you have a separate database server, and how you can incorporate a load balancer in case your application receives more traffic, and so on and so forth. And if I'm not wrong, before the infrastructure design uh, assignment, there was what happens when you type www.google.com on your browser and press enter, right, Fred?
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that. So it's more or less like towards the same side. You're required to uh, draw a server, and then show the connection between the client and the server. And if in case there is a separate database server, show how the server communicates with the database server. In case there's a load balancer, show how the client will access the load balancer, of which the load balancer will distribute the traffic to the other servers. So that's the whole point of the web infrastructure design assignment.
Oh yeah. So I just wanted to introduce that and kind of talk about that because we are talking about LX and we are talking about bootcamps in general and what bootcamps are now able to do compared to traditional ways of learning tech, which has been the CS degree. So like I think this debate will never end. But I just want to ask you, no, Mal. What you think the difference is, because okay, I know you haven't maybe been to a boot camp, but some of the why you would, for example, still insist that somebody go through the 4-year degree course in CS instead of going to a boot camp. That is if they have a chance to, because we know that some people also have a chance to go to uni and study CS. Just from your perspective, what some of the benefits that you think that you have, some of the things that the advantages that you think that you have as a CS graduate over somebody who goes through a 6-month program with a boot camp, for instance. What are those attractive things about a CS degree that you absolutely say, I think if you have a chance, just go to uni and do a 4-year degree course?
You're literally putting me on the
No,
cross
you're not on
right
the
now.
cross.
So,
You're talking that from the
I'm just
capacity.
waiting for the
Yeah,
nails.
you're talking from the capacity of somebody who went to school, a proper school. You're an engineer.
Wow. Yeah, that's a huge cross to bear, but yes. I believe that most boot camps teach you how to program mostly. That is mostly what the boot camps do. They teach you how to program. And
Not LX.
programming is, yeah, they are teaching you the fundamentals of programming, no? Are they not? I've never been to the LX program, so I'm not sure what exactly
Umesikia tu
they offer.
tukidescribe hapa load balancer. Where have you ever
Load
heard about load balancer?
Yeah, I have heard about load balancing, but I thought it was just, it's a program that teaches you the fundamentals of computing so that at the end of the day you can become a software engineer, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and part of these fundamentals, they have to teach you that so that you understand how C works, C++, the background information. Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. And that is, computer science is literally the science behind computers. Programming is the communication, the language that computers speak. That's you're learning how to communicate with a computer. So I believe most bootcamps have that to offer. And when you do a CS degree, you literally learn all the branches of the science of computing. Programming is a very minimal part of that, by the way. In class, we are taught a lot of things, and programming is not really at the root of it. It's not much that we do.
What are you taught?
What are we taught?
We want to hear. Me
There
and
is
Nile, we want to hear what we are
cybersecurity.
taught.
There is cybersecurity. There is the design of algorithms. There is software architecture. There is programming at the root of it. There is networks. If somebody wants to get into, cloud engineering and all that, there is design thinking. The UX UI guys, how to get to, why is not to get into the the depth of it, but the design that goes behind what Netflix looks like, TikTok, that they attract you to it. You stay on TikTok for 5 hours. So the design thinking behind an application, and it also goes to the websites and applications that we use. There is you're taking me like 5 years back. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are taught, and that is just the basics of there's data structures and algorithms, of course, and that is just the basics of what you're taught in a class for 8 semesters. Yeah, I don't think in 6 months you can cover all that if you're being honest.
Yeah, true. But sasa nini, the argument that, for example, I would front is uh, the democratization of learning. Okay, because when you're talking about a program like ALX, you're talking
Mhm.
about the democratization of learning, like let's call it quote unquote open learning. Like all learning has been opened up to everyone. Yeah, like and like a CS degree, for instance, that you'd require, loads of cash
Mm,
to attend one.
yeah.
The elect is sponsored. Elect is sponsored by various sponsors like Mastercard, etc.
Mm,
And when you look at the structure of LX, because I and Nile, for instance, we are students of LX ongoing, and well, I've heard about what you have said, but things with to do with for example, DCA, that is data science, data structures, and algorithms. We have covered networks a bit. We have covered SAINI, web infrastructure. Some of the things that you're mentioning, like cybersecurity, I don't think we have covered yet, or will ever cover.
mm,
But when you look at some of these programs that have cropped up in Africa, so you'll have ALX, you'll have Moringa School, you'll have Zuri with the I4G, that is Ingressive for Good. You'll
yeah.
have, like, there's several of them, Akira Chicks, She Code Africa,
Yeah.
Speciatech, we're doing the same thing. There's so many of these programs that are coming up. So, what gap are they filling? Like, do you think, or Nile, do you think that what gap are these programs filling? Are they succeeding, or are they creating, for example, quote unquote substandard uh, engineers? Because this is a debate that has been raging on the TL for a while. Like there are undertones of it. So one group is people like Mal, who consider
No,
this,
no, no.
no, who consider themselves like the real engineers,
Oh, hell no, I don't
like
know.
yeah, like
Don't quote me on
they'll,
that.
yeah, they'll tell you there's a difference between a programmer and a and a,
And the
and a,
develop
yeah, a
and the software.
developer and a software engineer. We are software engineers. We are not coders. Like, you
what
people want
makes
to
what makes
uh, uh,
is it the if it's the papers that makes a software engineer, then all of us should be engineers, right? If it's just a paper, a 3 month bootcamp will give you that title, a 4 year degree will give you the same title, but there's still debates on that. So what actually makes a good engineer? Because at the end of the day, from the discussions I'm getting on the TL or from people, it's not really the paper. It's not a 3 month bootcamp. It's not a 4 year degree course. What makes a good engineer?
okay, what makes a good engineer, Nile?
Okay. Personally, I can't speak for every boot camp out here, but I can speak for Alex since I have experienced Alex. So, um, I understand in a computer science degree, you will also learn the basics of game development,
Yes,
AI,
yeah, true.
VR, and
And I
and all
forgot
that.
to mention that, but yes, those are key topics that actually go into a science degree course. And man,
Yeah,
were they
yeah,
hard?
true.
Yeah, yeah,
So, in as much as you will get the basics of that, at the end of the day, you as a software engineer, you have uh, options, right?
to pick
Some
from.
people actually go through the masters and go over PhDs for
Mhm.
computer science, and
Yeah,
they spearhead like really nice research on
yeah.
fields like quantum computing and all that.
Hmm.
So, uh, a bootcamp like ALX, you'll be taught what you will require to use in your day-to-day life as a software engineer, specifically as a full stack software developer. So, stuff like cybersecurity, there are some tasks that involve cybersecurity in airlines. I remember one called Attack is the Best Defense, where you are required to, I don't really remember the task itself, but um, there were a few tasks that involve cybersecurity things. And then Others involve design, of which those who pick the front end side of things actually get the basics of design and all that. So I feel like the things that make a good software engineer is the necessary skills. For instance, you can't tell a backend developer to learn game development, for instance. Do he or she might not need to use the knowledge in his or her day-to-day work. But then, uh, so back to what I was saying. What makes a good software engineer, according to me, is the necessary hard skills for your day-to-day task, plus the necessary soft skills that allow you to actually be an effective engineer at the workplace. And Alex actually teaches you both the hard skills and the soft skills. Yeah, so I can't really speak about the other boot camps. Through some of the boot camps, you will be taught the hard skills minus the soft skills. Others, you will be given the hands-on experience minus the soft skills. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, well put. So the other aspect of this debate that I want to bring in is now because some of the criticism of CS degrees and why we have programs like LX coming onto the scene to kind of bridge that gap, because there's a gap in skills, in skills. So we have seen that we are going to need like a massive ton of skills, tech skills in Africa for us to take the dream of moving Africa forward. Like, and that's why programs like ALEX, like they're really insisting that the future is tech. But I don't know about this, but one of the criticism for about CS degrees, as much as they cover a wide base, as much as they are awesome into making you a wholesome engineer, is that people actually leave CS degrees and classes and CS classes and graduate with zero technical skills. I don't know. Mal will tell us how much she left with, but Mal is quite a good engineer, so you'll tell us whether you learned that in class or you had to kind of supplement with other programs outside. But that is one of the most forward criticism of CS, is that particularly in Africa, forget about the CS that is taught at Stanford, Harvard, where people are actually inventing companies like Google out of Stanford, and amazing companies. In Africa, like let's say for example, where Nile, no, not Nile, but where Mal and I attended, the university that we attended, JQuat. Mala, I just want to ask you this: in the 4 years that you guys were in that class, first of all, one of the things that you are criticized about the class, the CS degrees, is that you code on paper. Okay. I don't know whether that's true, whether it was true back in the 90s or it was true right now. Students still code on paper, but from the frustrations of CS degree undergraduates that I see on the TL, is that CS degrees are severely under resourced, and they're kind of, the curriculum is kind of outdated. And that's why programs like LX and programs like Moringa School resonate so much with guys, because this is something that you're going to be taught hands-on skills on how to actually build things. So I understand what you have said, the point that you have made, Mal, that having this theoretical knowledge about stuff about computer networks, about all that, is really awesome. But what about the practical aspect of actually building projects that will go on to scale? Is it something that you are seeing with a CS degree? Is it something that, as a CS graduate, somebody could even supplement, so that these programs, instead of working disparately and in silos, can actually be collaborative? So you can say that, well, if I've graduated from a CS degree, then if I did not kind of hone my technical skills. I can attend ALX for 1 year to kind
Mm-hmm.
of get to the level where now, in addition to what I learned in my CS degree, now I can actually build stuff and be a good all-round engineer.
Right. I think, I'm not here to defend education systems at all or criticize them, but I have friends who have done computer science, or people I know that have studied computer science outside the country also. Like in the States, I know some who went to Northwestern University, and those universities. I happen to have done mine at Jomo Kenyatta, which is a good university, by the way. But we cannot really compare the resources that a place like Stanford has for a department like computer science with a department like Department of Computing at Jomo Kenyatta. Yeah, there is a lot that goes into funding for this university, from alumni to the government to the university itself, that is not really anyone's fault. you know Students at Stanford get what they have, and we had what we had. So some of the exams we had to code on paper for one reason or another. I
And you
particularly
still do.
exactly. I think they still do. And I did not particularly enjoy them, because why am I writing a website, source code HTML on paper? What is that?
Okay. Let us just hammer that a bit. Okay, why is this still happening in
Mhm.
2023? I mean, people have no laptops. The department has no technology to ensure that, because I mean, GitHub is there. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, but
ama
for
je
an
kwa
exam,
hawajadiscover GitHub.
it actually has a
Okay,
very good computer lab, by the way. Jomo
Yeah.
Kenyatta has a good. When I was doing my project, we had a lot of good resources at the laboratory. If you didn't have a laptop, where you get time, you do your good machines that can power machine learning projects. So that is not a problem. But the rest of the smaller units, you had to depend on what you have. If you didn't have a laptop, it would have been harder for you to uh, just go on with the class, because there were assignments that needed to be submitted from your computer. You needed to have the GitHub and all that. So yeah, the challenges span from individual to organizational, in my opinion. Yeah.
Nile, you had a point.
oh yes, concerning writing code on paper. I feel like code is something that you have to interact with it multiple times for you to actually be good at it. That's why people say code daily and you get better at it. So writing code on paper, in my opinion, I feel like that's a method of learning, or something like that. Active recall while writing code on paper without external help of uh, GitHub Copilot or any other resource that you see out there. I personally put down ideas on paper first before actually uh, interacting with my laptop. So I feel like the code on paper thing is not due to lack of resources, but it's just learning method.
Hmm. I
But
agree with
then,
you.
no, I don't agree. How how will you know the code runs? Like, okay, if you submit papers, how does the teacher know? How does the lecturer know that this code is actually running?
I don't think they really ever marked if the code ran or not. I think they were marking logic.
Logic, yeah.
Oh,
Yes, they want to see how you're thinking,
mm.
not necessarily if how correct your code is. I
Just
mean,
how you got to point B from point A.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. How, like, you're literally putting your thoughts, your logic on paper. That was
Hmm.
pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah, and the second part of my question was whether, Mara, you think there was a gap that programs like ALX can fill in for CS graduates, where you know you can supplement the information that you got from your degree with a program like ALX, because ALX is robust. Let me tell you for sure that ALX is very robust. Like when they say you're going to do hard things, it's really that you're going to do hard things. And I've just come to learn that software engineering, software development, coding, as people
It's
like
hard.
to kind of dilute it, is actually hard.
It is.
Yeah, it's actually hard. So looking in, like as an insider of ALX, I can understand. And one of the things also with ALX is that they teach you stuff. Okay, there are many stuff, like there's so much to learn, but there's also so much to learn in a very little time. I don't know whether, Nile, you have experienced this, but Mal, before you answer that question, but I don't know, Mal, whether you have experienced this, Nile, because it was just the other day that I was complaining about Makefiles. Like, I haven't understood Makefiles well. I can even confess that I've not yet wrapped up my head around actually, fully understanding what C pointers are. Right now I'm trying to learn about web infrastructure. So it's information that is packed for you to learn it in a few days. And I would understand the reason why they did that, because I think in a previous space we did with Andrew Gumbao. He's a mentor at ALX. They said that this was a 4-year CS degree offered by Holberton's in the
Compressed into
United
one.
States. Yeah, that was pressed into 12 months. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I see Alex is doing, for instance, and that's why I would even compare it to a CS degree, is that it kind of opens your eyes to the world of software engineering, like the things that you really need to learn. Because I don't think that the end of my software engineering journey is
Mm.
actually graduating from ALX. I think ALX is just giving me a taste and that desire to kind of learn more, so that after the 12th
Mm.
degree, the 12 months program, I'm now saying, I'll now be saying that, well, I can build a website, but then I really
Yeah.
haven't understood how Engine X works, how load balancers
Exactly.
work. And if I
Yeah.
really
Because
wanted to, yeah, if I wanted to explore all these areas, then instead of, being a jack of all trades, I can specialize in DevOps. So I
one
think
thing,
a program like
right?
ALX is driving you towards specialization nights.
Mm. Yeah. And
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. To add on just what you're saying, there was a
mm,
reason why it's a four-year course, right? There's a reason why at the university they said, you know what, all these topics, let us divide them into 8 semesters so that students can do it in 4 years instead of otherwise we would go to the university and do it in 1 year, like Alex is doing. No, that way every year there's always a new batch of students coming in for the same course. So I think there is a reason for taking it slow. I'm not. It's not a criticism to how Alex is doing it, but there is a reason why it's 4 years also, and there's a reason why they decided to compress it into 1 year. I think both these things can coexist. It doesn't want to be this one or the other one. These two degrees and boot camps can peacefully coexist, by the way, because at the end of the day, you do a computer science degree, you're basically just learning the science behind computers, the fundamentals behind computers. Specialization is up to you. It's you to decide, I've learned quantum computing, I've learned AI, oh, I've learned database architecture, I've learned design thinking, I've learned which one do I want to go with? Where do I want to specialize? Is it cybersecurity? Is it networking? It's usually up to you as an engineer to decide as you move on which one interests you and which one you want to pick up and move on with. And on the topic of curriculum, I saw Microsoft is the what is the word? They are collaborating with Jomo Kenyatta University to revamp the curriculum, which is a very good idea because there's always been the discussion about engineers are not equipped to go out into the market. They're not very well equipped to go into the market, and most of the things that you learn on in school, you have to do a lot of your own personal digging to be qualified for position that you want to, or the path that you want to take once you're out there. So with the company like Microsoft coming in and uh, helping, they're giving an industry perspective to the curriculum, so that these two merge and marry one into one another, so that once students are uh, taken out to the industry, it's easy for them to get absorbed. They're not starting to learn from scratch.
I don't
They're
buy
not
it.
starting to, it's,
I
what do you
don't
mean you
buy
don't buy
it.
it?
Let me
That Microsoft is going
no.
to help revamp the
I know
curriculum,
they
or
have
what?
good intentions. I know they have good intentions, but this is something that I told.
I think they have good
Yeah, they
intention.
have good intentions, but I'm not buying the whole hullabaloo that it is private companies that are going to kind of like all of a sudden help, you know, CS degree graduates to be market ready. I think what Microsoft is doing, and Microsoft, if you are hearing me, I'm going to tell it straight. Is Microsoft is trying to position themselves and their products. It is just marketing on steroids, Mal. Let me and hear me out. First of all, it's very noble that they are going to do it, okay? But
It's a good
is it only Microsoft that can do it? Are you saying that in
no,
this
no,
whole
no, no.
country
That's not
we
the
have
thing.
no
But
lecturers, we have
they
no
are taking
professors, we
it
have no
upon
master
themselves.
students who can sit down around the table and say that, well, this is what the CS degree curriculum has been offering. I think from this point that we have gotten in 2023, we need to update it to be that this way, than this way, and this way, and this way. Okay. What
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft is doing is that Microsoft, and this applies to all these global companies that are coming into Kenya and then going around, because look at, for example, what Google is doing in universities. We have Google, is that what Google developer student somethings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
What is, yeah,
GDS or something.
GDSC.
Yeah.
What is GDSC doing? GDSC is not promoting any other technology apart from the
Student
tech.
clubs.
Yeah, apart from the technology that Google is using. So Flutter, so Angular, so you know, technologies that are like inborn, like are born in Google. And this is something. Okay, I'm not saying that what Microsoft is doing is wrong, but I think that if you look at this debate from the other side, is that Microsoft is trying to replicate what Google has been doing all along, like get into the universities, revamp that curriculum, but then also gain a foothold into this institution so that you are selling your technology and having, you know, kind of these institutions as your labs. Okay, you can say what you want.
I will not.
I think it's just a marketing gimmick for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I was saying, that
Mhm.
I even saw this with the, the Codris Africa is the one that is leading the implementation of the coding curriculum in schools, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're the ones who are providing the curriculum. And well, I saw that, and I just thought that, well, this is somebody, there's somebody eating behind
Look,
behind some
at
of
the
these
end
things.
of
Because,
the day,
Mhm.
these people, whatever you do, especially from an economic, a company like Microsoft or these companies, they want to gain something in return, and it's not a bad thing. It's okay if they gain something, if they're promoting their technology, or if they're getting engineers out of this process. They go there, they do a little bit of uh, I'm not sure. I've forgotten what word it is, but you go and you look at the different students there and see who would be a good fit for Microsoft or Google or Codries. That's fine. That's okay. It's a give and take situation. You give in exchange for something else, which is good. So as long as it's for the good of the community, they can have something in return. It's okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think we just needed to say what
Mm-hmm.
needed to be said, that Microsoft is not doing it because Microsoft loves us. They're, they're doing it because they want, they have seen an opportunity somewhere, you know. So the outcome of the whole exercise is going to determine what it is all about. So if at the end of the day Microsoft really does a good job and they collaborate with the government to revamp the CS degree to market standards,
That would be
well,
nice.
it would be a
Very
nice thing.
good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want us to kind of switch gears a bit, and I
Mhm.
don't know whether Naila is back, but the last segment I want us to talk about the quality of
Mm.
the boot camps that are out there. And one of the concerns, by the way, is the quality of graduates that are coming out of these boot camps.
Right.
Well, now I'll need to be looking inward because I'm one of the products
So
that
one of them, no?
yeah, that are going to be coming out of those programs. So
Yeah.
I need to kind of be retrospective and say, am I
Yeah.
going to be a good engineer coming out of LX? Is Nile going to be a good engineer coming out of LX? But,
Are you a
but
quack?
yeah, or am I going to be a quack? You see, so there's been that explosion um of tech. There's explosion of all of a sudden a lot of people are interested in the tech space, and so it starts with training. And so Alex is doing a good thing in the ecosystem, like training thousands and thousands of people. And
Mm.
then also the concern of opportunities that are available for employment. So you see the thing with Africa is that there's actually a shortage of job opportunities. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, you could train as much as 10,000 quality engineers, but if there are no
Oh,
jobs that these people can actually get into immediately after they finish their CS degree or the boot camps, then the ROI for the money that is poured into some of these programs begins to kind of not make sense in some way.
yeah.
So I don't know whether you have any insights on this, but mm, when you think about some of the things that the boot camps are doing, like Akira Chicks, um, Shikon Africa, Alex, Zuri, do you think that the quality of engineers that are coming out of some of these programs is up there, compared to what CS degrees have been churning all along?
I don't want to quote any style of education that these boot camps offer, but I will say not all of them give quality. I have been in some of the communities and seen how they work, and no, confidently I will say no, and I can be quoted on that. Some of them do not, by any means, produce. It gives you a name. Yeah, I'm a software engineer. Mm-mm, no, I believe there goes a lot of who a software engineer is it goes way beyond. It's a good start. It's a good start what they're doing. It's a good, very good initiative how they want to do it and encourage Africans to get into the tech space. Wonderful. Yeah, especially as developing countries. That is, we need the skill. So beautiful. But quality, wanting, very wanting. So I think even the boot camps need to reevaluate what they teach, you know, what they're giving. Is it quality? Yeah. Is it enough to get somebody to kickstart somebody when they're looking for a job?
Why I'm asking for, this
Mm.
is that the self-taught, like the self-taught demographic is
Everybody is
is is,
self-taught,
is,
friend.
is, is
Everybody is self-taught.
listen,
In the
listen,
tech space, everyone is self-taught.
listen.
Everyone.
There's a self-taught demographic in tech,
Mhm.
like those
Yeah.
people who did not attend boot camp, those people who did not attend CS degrees. They just followed their own roadmaps, okay, to learning. And well, it is now emerging that there's a difference between going for a CS degree and actually learning a language, because learning a language and using it as a tool is way there's way more to actually building systems and thinking about design than
Exactly.
just coding
Yeah.
using a tool. Okay,
Mm.
but people are learning how to use tools. Like if you started today and you wanted to become like front end, you wanted to become a front end developer.
Mm-hmm.
It is pretty straightforward. Start with HTML, learn CSS, and
Yeah.
then learn JavaScript, learn React. You know,
Mm. Yeah.
and a few more technologies here and there, like
APIs,
Tailwind.
yes. Yeah.
By the time you are like 4 years into learning, you'll be a
Good
pretty
engineer.
good coder of
Mm.
front end UIs. Okay,
Yeah. Mm.
so uh, okay, people will argue that at the end of it all, as in we are chasing the bag. All of us are chasing the bag here. As in, it's not about whether you went whether you are an engineer or whether you are just a coder. As long as you are getting the bag, as in that is that is all that matters at the end of the day. So that takes me back to the question that I asked you about the quality of because if for example a program like LX, I'm able to go through LX for 12 months, and then I come out of it having known how to code a UI or even code the back end of of a website.
Mm.
Isn't that enough? I mean, what other quality are you talking about?
It's enough to get you started for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's enough to get you started. But I think more of what makes a good engineer is also experience, you know?
But the experience is kind of gained on your own. You see, the point I'm trying to make is if I go into a program like LX, expecting that LX is going to equip me with everything like from A to Z of becoming an engineer, and then after
That would
12
be a lie.
months, yeah, it would be a lie. Okay,
Yeah.
so um I think for me, much of what becomes a what an engineer is about self. I don't know. I don't know whether this is being philosophical or not. Yeah, I think it's about self, like about initiative, because there are people who have not gone through boot camps or CS degrees and they are really good
Good, yes.
coders,
Yeah.
and the industry kind of I could say that the industry needs coders. You know, as much as
Mhm.
we like to to brag about or the and argue about who is an engineer and who's a programmer. At the end of the day, we have to realize that what is the customer, the client looking for? And is the client looking for somebody who is an engineer? Like, yeah, this I want to hire an engineer, a real engineer, or
Nobody cares.
somebody, yeah,
Nobody
oh,
cares
yeah,
as long as you can deliver.
as long as you can deliver.
Yeah.
And I think from 12 months onward, like if I go to if I study ALX and ALX for 12 months, after 12 months, I think what I become really so much depends on me. You know, as Nile was saying, that it is about the consistency, because you could even be registered to the most quality CS degree ever in Stanford, but if you don't show up, you know, and really do
True.
the work,
Yeah.
you come out a quack. You
Yeah.
know?
If you're missing classes and
Yes,
getting
yes,
Africans to do your
yeah,
assignment for you,
yeah.
at the end of the day,
You come out of it a quack, and
yeah,
you
it's
could
just
go
the name.
through ALX,
Mm.
and as long as you are tenacious, you are determined, and you show up every day, you practice, and you actually take initiative to learn more and more. I think you become you at the end you become more than just an average coder, in my opinion, an average programmer, in my opinion.
True. That is true.
Yeah.
I feel like what contributes to the quality
Mm.
is also your people skills.
Yeah.
Mm. You can be just below average in how you write your code, but if you know how to relate with people, you'll know how to ask for help, the right time
Mm.
to ask for help, um, how to contribute, and so on and so forth. So, in as much as the technical skills are important, I feel like the
Soft
measure
skills.
of quality uh, more so relies on your soft skills.
Yeah.
than the technical
That is
skills.
true. Yeah, I also agree on that.
Yeah.
Being able to marry your hard skills and your soft skills makes you a wholesome person or engineer in your
Yeah.
field of work. Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys so much. I think this is the end of our discussion today. We had such an amazing discussion. Thank you, Nile, for making it to this discussion today and for being our amazing guest. And guys, Alex is still uh, registering. So there's links that are open for you to register. So if you go, for example, to the Speciatech profile on Twitter, you'll find a pin tweet there that you can click to register for LX cohort. I believe now we are in cohort 13 or cohort 14, if I'm not wrong. But again, there's also an all women cohort that is taking in students at this moment. So keep an eye out for that link. You'll find it in the TL a lot of it, but a lot of the times. But again, on the description of this episode on our Spotify channel, on our Spotify's page, we are going to include all those links so that you can just click and register for those classes. So thank you, Mal, my amazing co-host, and thank you, Nile, for being a guest in this episode. So Mal, you can just finish with the way you finish so smoothly.
Mm.
You could just have finished it, but thank you. So yeah, that has been all from us from the LX episode. If you want to transition into tech, you're in another industry, I don't want to name names, so that I'm misquoted. But yes, if you have had a passion in tech, or you're curious, you want to transition to tech, I think LX or any other bootcamp, but this is specifically to Alex, is a good place for you to start. So yeah, head on there and sign up. It's a pretty easy process. You can check out the official website, alex.com, or you can go to our header at Spacia Tech. You will get, I think, a link for you on how to get started. That has been everything from us today, and thank you, Niall. We will see you on our next episode. Till then, bye, guys.